Welcome to the Mental Mary Show, where we chat about mental health. My name is Jen. I'm an AV professional and I have ADHD, autism, and depression, among other things. And our goal here is to just chat openly, share experiences, because I believe this is the best way to create awareness and hopefully start a dialogue. So, welcome to the show. And without further ado, let's get started. So, I thought for our first video, we should talk about some of the biggest issues I had getting started. And it's not unlike what most people experience looking and talking into a camera. But I thought perhaps I could shed some light on a different perspective to that challenge because I bet my bottom dollar that I'm not alone. So the first thing, let's talk about it being weird talking into a camera. Nowadays, at the time this video is released, COVID-19 is still a thing. Most of us are working from home and having our meetings, and we are taught to speak and look at someone in the eyes when they're talking. And when you're looking at a digital device, your camera, the lens, is the eye. And so, one of the things with autism is looking at first of all, looking at faces, but in particular, also looking people in the eye. And something that I've always done, even before I knew I had autism, was I would either look right here or I would look down, like at their chest, because, or the other thing too is looking past. And that is actually easier to do for a person than it is to do looking at a lens, at least so far. So one of the reasons why it's difficult to look someone in the eye, and so far seems to be the case with talking to a camera as well, is that it is easier for me to focus and truly listen if I am not taking that extra energy to be staring someone in the eyes, making sure that I am making the appropriate amount of eye contact. Because a lot of this social interaction is something that most people who are, we say, neurotypical, they don't have any kind of neurodevelopmental disorders. They are wired in that normal perspective. And so a lot of these interactions for them, like talking to someone, looking them in the eye, is natural. It doesn't require any extra thought. So this is one of the perspectives that I've found to be interesting and a challenge. So the other thing is just talking into a camera. And I mean that from more of an audio perspective, perhaps. Yes, there are the technical challenges to picking the right camera and picking the right mic, and then getting all of that to actually record or sync, depending on how you're recording. I'm talking about, again, from the perspective of my autism in this case. And I was a very quiet child. I actually remember I went to a sleepaway camp that I performed. I played guitar in the talent show, and a friend of mine, he was busting my chops because, He said, this entire time, you never speak. You know, you were up there playing your heart out in front of the entire camp, but you still never said a word. And I thought that was hilarious, or at least I did in hindsight. At the time, I totally let on him as, essentially whatever. But we ended up laughing about it because his response was, that was the most I've heard you talk the entire time. And so essentially, talking is not something that I do naturally. I'm a thinker, I'm a writer, which blogging would have probably been a lot easier to start with. Um, but a good challenge is always worth it. So we are getting started, and everyone who starts on a video is going to have, this is not going to be my best one, but there will be more to come, and it will hopefully get easier. And if nothing else, I hope that maybe you might have learned something new, whether it was about autism or starting a video, or you just went, huh. If you have any comments, maybe you've had similar experiences, put them down in the comments below. Please be sure to like and subscribe. You can also catch my Patreon if you'd like to support this channel by going to patreon.com/mentalmarymedia. If you'd like to follow me on my social, you can also find me at my personal Twitter, which is nerdygirlav, or you can find me across the social media platforms at Mental Mary Media. Thank you so much. Please do come again. Be kind, be strong, and know you are not alone. Thank you.